Hello everyone, welcome to today's video. I hope you are good. We're going to talk about when is the time to buy Vechain in 2020. This has been requested. A lot of people hold Vechain. When do you buy it though for the best possible entry? Let's find out. So welcome everyone, hope you're good. Please do like, subscribe, hit the bell button, all kinds of good stuff. Also, in the links below in this channel description, follow me on socials. It'd be good to see some of you on my Twitter, on my Instagram, etc. I am going to start becoming a bit more vocal in those as well as my YouTube, obviously. Cool. So, Vechain, it's been a long-term project that is still ongoing. There's massive partnerships. I'm not going to go through the full fundamental details of the coin. However, it's a pretty decent blockchain in reality with partnerships to the likes of Walmart, to name a few. There's a lot. Do your research on this. As always, I'm not a financial advisor, but what we're going to do, my Chainlink video did very well in terms of like a bit of a process of how to kind of invest into a coin and when's a good place to actually buy. You know, as I say, I'm not a financial advisor, but ultimately, if you are doing the right things and you are willing to take the risk, you can wait for that perfect entry point. I'm going to go through it for Vechain. As I say though, please don't just jump in because this is a video that you are watching. Just do your research, figure out what it is, do a lot of like background analysis. But I know a lot of people who are on my channel have talked about Vechain. They've mentioned it a few times in comments. And in my Chainlink video, a lot of people were like, oh, can you do Vechain? Cool, I'm going to do it today, so why not? I say, crack on, do your research. But let's look at the chart. So, make it nice, neat, clear. Now, I'm accumulating Vechain, right? I'm going to explain what I'm doing in a minute. But first things first, you need to understand that this is a bearish chart still. Okay, still bearish, still looking a bit rough. Not quite turned yet, and I have sold. You can see the little label there, it says sold here. Yep, I know. Sold it. I've got a little line there that I want to show you guys. Because how I do things, I've got a good holding of Vechain. I've held it for a while. It's a profit bag from back in 2017. I've put a little bit on the exchanges to accumulate. So what I'll do is when it goes high, I'll sell it. And when it goes into bearish trends, I'll rebuy when it lows. And you can see the process of this very easily when you start looking overall at the grand scheme of a trend. But what this video is all about is mainly to show you where you can buy. A lot of people buy coins when they've like done this and they're like up into FOMO levels, like, oh my god, this is amazing, and they start buying, then they hit top and then off. Yeah, it does. So be mindful of that, and I'm not sure what that line is from. If I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know what that line is from. I'm going to delete it. Bye. So that's that. So when you look at the overall grand scheme of things in terms of the daily time frame, we have been really high. Okay, we've been a lot higher than that. This life cycle of a coin has been out for a lot longer than July 2018. Obviously getting lower. Now we've obviously been forming lows every single time. When we've popped up, low, popped up, low, popped up, low. Okay, so we're looking at a possible low again. And this is what this video is all about, identifying where that low is. So we're going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to go to the weekly time frame first. And what I've done first off is put the structure on the chart a little bit, not all the way because it'll be a mess. But we're looking at current structure of the price level as well as lower, where we have been and where we could go lower. I put a random little weekly wick here just as a random one. This is a daily level. This is another weekly level. This is another daily level, this is a weekly level. You can get the picture. Now we're going to start using the likes of Fibonacci to show you stuff, but what I'm going to show you on the daily time frame is this. This is where I sold. Okay, I've sold, we've dropped lower, we're back at the top of this level here now. So whatever happens, there's no leverage involved, there's no other things. I'm basically moving my Vechain into Tether and then I'll rebuy back low. I know that if it drops back down to these levels, it's a nice little gain, so I'm not overall worried in terms of what happens. If we break out above this level, I'll jump back in, doesn't matter, and then I'll look for another entry. I will always accumulate coins. I am looking to accumulate coins, okay? So what this means is, over time, the coin value will gradually increase with the fundamentals, unless the fundamentals change. If the fundamentals change, I'll bin it, but ultimately I'm looking to gain more coins without putting any further investment in. So we've got a bit of an uptrend here in the daily time frame. However, when you start zooming out though and looking at things, we've still got a long way to go to form a proper trend. This could easily turn around, and we're going to start identifying, can this turn around? So what we're going to do, we're going to get a Fibonacci from this top level down to this relief rally and see where we are at current levels. There's two ways of doing this. You've got it from this point here, which is kind of this level here, which we know about. Or if you want to, you can do it from this level here, which is also a key level, which you can also use if you so wish to. Now, this has real good confluence with certain levels, which is kind of why I like this impulse wave. The reason why I like this impulse wave is because if I just go to the top there, there we go, that looks neater and tidier. The reason why is because this is the top of the entire move, but we've had impulses going up. This is the impulse all the way down. Vroomf. Didn't even retrace, didn't even correct, whereas these have like corrected quite a bit. So overall, this is a trend start in my eyes, okay? In terms of my Fibonacci, I've made it nice and pretty, and it does align with key levels of structure, very, very close to it anyways. So what we've discovered already, when we zoom in to this level, we have discovered two things. One, we went for a retest at the 618, we totally rejected it, it died. We then came back down, we retested this level, the 0.5, and again, we rejected it. That is why I started to sell. I started to sell in and around this region from this pump up here, and that was the day I sold. We obviously dropped like hell. We've retested it a few times, and we keep rejecting off it. So hopefully, we keep rejecting off it, and we carry on going down with the rest of the market, because I am still overall bearish. Now, if that does roll over, let me try and see if I can get a little brush. If we do this, obviously, what we're looking for is potential targets to the downside. Now, that would indicate that this relief rally has kind of ended for now, going upwards. So we may well come down. We have formed a higher low, lower high, sorry. So not good, not good, not good, not good. So that would indicate that. What I would expect though, if you're going to do this from this point here, we're going to be now looking at a Fibonacci retracement if this is the end of the move. Now, what I would say, ignore these wicks on this point because it's a bit sketchy. Look for a concrete area. I always go for concrete areas when I do Fibonacci. If there's a massive tailing wick from miles away, it gives you a bit of a rough estimate. It's not the greatest. So go from this level here. There's definitely a double bottom there. And look at this top structure here. This is what we're looking at. We're looking at potentially in between this weekly level, which would be a great place to rebuy. And that is definitely a buy zone you should be considering. So looking at that area, let me just get a little, not that it matters in terms of that, but just to highlight it, that in my opinion should be an entry level if you are looking to invest. That is one. However, with that in mind, we could also go lower. If we do go lower, as per, you're going to look at other levels, and where you're going to look at other key levels of daily structure. You've got one here at the 0.786, which is in line with this level, and then you've obviously got the bottom here, which makes sense. So I'm going to remove the boxes because it looks a bit messy, but ultimately that is what you're looking for. You are looking for key levels of structure if this is going to roll over. If this does not roll over, fair enough, it doesn't roll over, but ultimately we've failed to form a higher high at the moment. Okay, we've not done anything yet, but this could move. It could move. It could go for another retest. It could go a bit higher, and that is also very, very interesting. But when you look at this as a potential structure and where we could go, we could easily go into this level here, rebuy, and then go for a retest back up, because this structure is still valid unless we fall below these levels. So I hope that does make some sort of sense. So key levels of structure, you are looking for like the 3,000 level, 3,000 Satoshi level, or well, it's not even Satoshi, is it? It's Tether, 0.003 cents, and then you've got this level here down at the 0.0022 cents, which is pretty cool. Not a bad little area to be involved in, because you got to look at the grand scheme of things. We are still in a bearish market overall for altcoins. It's still pretty rough. It's pretty horrible. And yeah, we have been a lot higher at the start of the year, and we have dropped cataclysmically, which is mental. So accumulation of these coins is really, really good. So what I would encourage, if you are holding coins and you like them, put 10% on the exchanges, and if you feel that it's going down, put it into Tether and then rebuy back low. It makes much more sense to do that, because over time it will gradually compound. You're not going to win them all, but if you're thinking, well, this is going to turn around, why? Because it's hit X, Y, and Z. Okay, cool, let's sell it. And then something like that happens and it drops massively. You're like, oh my god. You know, if you're going to gain like 20 to 30% extra coins for doing nothing and not putting any more investment, why not give it a go? So I definitely encourage you to learn it. So overall, this trend is, yeah, it's a bullish trend. However, we have now formed a higher low, which could be interesting. Now this was, you could probably argue, that could be as well, you know, a bit of a correction, but we haven't corrected enough yet. When you look at the grand scheme of things and when you start looking at corrections in the market, we haven't corrected enough yet for this to form any sort of like bias to say that, well, actually, when you look at that wick there, it's absolutely crazy. But when you start looking, well, maybe actually let's look at this level. We've corrected to that point there. But when you start thinking, well, where can we go? If the market overall is bearish with Bitcoin, this could well just retrace back down again. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Don't just get FOMO sensations just to think, oh, it may go up. Because if we are going to go up anywhere, we might just hit the 4,000 level. So there you go. Video done. Enjoy your weekend. I hope you have a good one. I will be back again on Monday, where we'll talk about something totally random probably. We'll see. But overall, I'm still bearish on the overall market, just to let you know. I do think that over the next coming weeks with halving, I think it will be more bearish than bullish. It's always bullish post halving, 2 to 3 months later. Miners are currently selling, and I think it's not the time to go long in on altcoins right now when you look at the total 2 chart, you look at the dominance. So just be mindful of that and don't get too caught up in the emotion of, you know, FOMO candles and these random magical wicks, because as much as we may bounce off certain key levels, it may not sustain.